Hi, BA. What's going on, friends and family? I hope everyone had a blessed weekend. I got a few things to talk about. First, I'm gonna get into how my weekend was. Friday was great. Went to work, got off, came home, went to the gym, worked out for a little bit, probably about an hour or something. Went and got my daughter. We hung out. Me, the wife, my daughter hung out. While she was walking Millie, our Frenchie, she found a baby squirrel on the concrete. So we've taken it in. We're trying to nurse it back to health. At first, it was it had like exasperated breathing, like, but now it's his breathing has got regular. Been feeding it pet milk, thanks to Leah and Candace for the advice on Facebook. Let's see. Yesterday we went to Orlando's on Cattle Lake, Orlando's Cafe. A wonderful place, awesome scenery. We all took pictures on the pier. It's by the VFW, if y'all don't know where that's at. Yeah, go check out my Facebook. We uploaded the majority of the pictures on there, or the best ones that she thought. We took Sunday, today. We went to church, Word of God again, Shreveport campus. It's an excellent word by Pastor McGinnis. I encourage y'all to go if you're in the area. We drive from Bossier. Yeah, we drive from fairly deep in Bossier, but we're right there at 220, so it's not much of a drive for us. Just came from the gym, ended the day on a 4-mile run. It's just been just an amazing weekend. Amazing weekend. The sermon was awesome as usual. Talked about sharing the glory in your life, not just keeping it to yourself, being proud of your accomplishments, sharing them with people, building relationships with people everywhere you go, at work, not just at home, the places you visit, the places you frequent on a daily basis as part of your routine, whether it be the gym, whether it be, you go to a certain place for lunch every day, or, at work too. You want to build relationships so everywhere you go seems like home. It is more like home, and you're not dreading to go or do these things, these activities that you have to do, that you built your life around. Other than that, everything's been up and up. YouTube's doing its thing, or I've been doing my thing on YouTube, just creating content, uploading, making space for this in my life. Certain times I haven't filmed a lot of workout videos because my partner's been at a wedding, I believe. I don't know where it is. I mean, it's not my business, but excuse me, this particular gentleman I'm working with has been out of town on vacation, and I understand that, and yeah, so he should be back, and we should be back to that shortly. Yeah, life, Orlando's is wonderful atmosphere, wonderful food. It rained a bit, but it's okay. It's okay. We enjoyed the rain as well. So it's something that I want to talk about that's been on my mind for 15 years. It's something that happened to me. I mean, I really don't even know how to go about this. But before I continue and get into this, I'd like to have a moment of silence for Staff Sergeant Yance T. Gray, Staff Sergeant Gregory Rivera Santiago, Sergeant Michael C. Hardigree, Sergeant Omar Mora, Sergeant Nicholas J. Patterson, Specialist R.A.D. Brown Weeks, and Specialist Stephen R. Elrod. Amen. Okay, so a lot of y'all know, or y'all should know that a lot of y'all know. First, let me apologize for starting my videos with "What's up, YouTube?" or "Welcome, YouTube." This channel isn't like that. It's not a gimmick channel. This is my life. It's not, something that just draw attention. It's something that's therapeutic for me. It's things that I want to talk about, I want to let go of in my life, and this is the way for me to do it, in hopes that y'all are able to speak about your tragedies or your triumphs or the situations that y'all are going through, good or bad, with your peers, your loved ones, strangers, in hopes that you're able to get through things, process them, and progress in life without being stuck in a particular spot. For me, this particular one of my particular spots happened 15 years ago yesterday, September 10th, 2007. I have it on my wrist, tattooed. A lot of y'all know that I was in the military. I was in the Army. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division. I was an 88 Mike. I was a mechanic. I deployed twice with the 82nd Airborne Division, based out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. First time was to Tikrit, Saddam's birthplace. The second time was northern Baghdad, Taji. This particular situation, we're going to talk about the second deployment. So in the second deployment, which is unlike the first one, where we drove to like chow halls, gyms, MWR. And MWR is where you can use the internet. They got games or TV, whatever the case may be. Entertainment for the soldiers. Well, the second deployment, we were running supplies out to FOBs, forward operating bases, inside the outside the wire. I would say, and I'm not really sure about these time frames or not. I'm just just trying to get this out. Because it needs to be talked about. I don't need to hold it in. People need to know, about these lives, about these people, about this situation, and about just, what I went through, and my fellow soldiers went through, unsung stories. So I would say about halfway through the deployment, our first sergeant asked some of us, or asked all of us, really, all the drivers, who would volunteer, to be gunners on night missions. And me and a few of my battle buddies, we volunteered, and it was lovely. We were attached to Charlie Troop, 1st 73rd, as a Cav Scout platoon. Badass dudes. Yeah, so like 8 or 9 o'clock, we would load up. We would go over to the Charlie Troop's tent, and we get mission briefs. Okay, so like in these mission briefs, basically what was going on is we were in a JSOC mission, a Joint Security Operations Command mission, JSOC. That means it was intel and resources from every branch of the military. Joint Security Operations. It's the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Marines, all in this one, and that's how Bragg was too, itself. And so what would happen, what would go on is basically the Air Force would fly, overhead, gain intel on these high value targets like tracking cell phones or whatever the case may be. We'd get the intel, or Charlie Troop would get the intel, or somebody would pass the intel down to Charlie Troop. We'd load up at night, go outside the wire and look for these high value targets. But anyway, 8, 9, we get these mission briefs, come back, we load our trucks up. Now, let me explain these trucks. It's so much, and excuse me, y'all. Please forgive me. I'm gonna be jumping around, but it is so much, and I would please wish that anybody that served with me, that knows what's going on, that knows the intimate details or their intimate details of the situation, please get in the comment section, because there's no way I'm going to get this story out in perfect shape by myself. I'm going to need some corroboration from you all. I understand this is a tough subject. It's a soft spot, but these gentlemen need their glory, and I think people just need to know. People need to know. They need to be honored, and people just need to know, and it needs to be out. It doesn't need to be a secret anymore. It needs to be, something that can be discussed, without negative impact on our lives. Because for the longest time, whenever this time came around, my life was just in shambles because of the situation, just because nobody knew, and the things that happened, you know, after the situation transpired, and you know, just the unit the unit period. Now don't get me wrong, I love Fort Bragg, I love the military, I love the 82nd. There's so much culture there, and to me it's, especially the jumping out of planes part and wearing the red beret, but and the tag, and then you have your AA combat patch and your AA unit patch. Like nothing beats that. And it's comparable to how the Marines feel, because our bases were SF, Delta, Special Forces, Delta, Rangers, all those train there, all those courses are there. So, but anyways, so these trucks, they were up armored LMTVs, I believe. And so what we did to prepare for these missions, we had to up armor these vehicles with 2 tons of extra steel, you know, steel around the bed part of it. And so we would stay up. It was us, the mechanics. It was the drivers and the mechanics, and supply too. We were all running shifts, putting these big metal steel slabs on the truck. Man, we were working probably anywhere between 8 to 12 hours round the clock putting this stuff in. Sniper shields, sniper glass, plated glass that's just like, it's huge. It's huge, and it's so heavy. So it ended up being 5 tons total. And so we took so there was two sniper glasses on one side of the truck, 2 sniper glasses on the other side of the truck. Then it was 2 tons of additional steel around the vehicle. A shield, kind of like a collared shield on the turret, and the turret's where the 50 cal gunner is, you know, out the top of the vehicle. Let me see. We ran kind of like chicken hog panel over the top with like ghillie wire for camouflage covering. We did the same thing, and like shade, we did the same thing over the turret for cover and shade. And so, all right, so we would load up onto these 5 tons. They were our 5 tons. We would drive. We volunteered to drive. We volunteered to have a driver and a gunner. The driver would be a sergeant or a specialist or something like that. Yeah, and the gunner would be Joe. But the TC, which is a passenger, would be obviously they're higher up, and then the soldiers they would have their soldiers in the back, and it'd be like 18 of them, something like that. But yeah, we get the information, we load up, and it'd be dark, blackout mission, no lights, nods, like single tube nods, like not to the one, but just the one eye night vision, so and your other eye's free, so you have better depth perception at nighttime. Because it was strictly, I gotta repeat, it's strictly night mission, And forgive me if I'm throwing anybody off by smiling and stuff, but it took me a long time to get to this point. And like I said, at the same time, this was badass shit. It ain't nothing compared to my first one, because we was running getting child plates, and you know, doing all that crazy stuff, driving buses and stuff like that. So, you know, to get into the fight, to risk life and limb, that was something honorable and something worth talking about to me. But we just don't talk about it that often, because, you know what I'm saying, you don't really want to, because of these particular situations, this one right here. But yeah, so we got out to the wire, we got to the X. The X is the target spot, the destination where the intel led us to. And so this particular time, like, we was catching fire like a motherfucker, man. We was catching fire. They were just like, man, and you gotta remember, or y'all gotta realize that some of the trucks were just as tall as some of the buildings, so they could like literally just peep over the top of their houses or top of their buildings and shoot down. But this particular time, they were shooting from like a building like way far to the left. And man, look, it is so damn hot in Iraq. I'm talking about 120 degrees, easy, every day. So hot, so dry, sandy, windy, so hot, so dry that the blacktop mushes under your feet like all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hot, hot, hot.